Don and I are getting ready to get busy. Hi, Gray. Gray. Hi, sweetheart. It's a nice day. It's going to be in the 70s, lower humidity, no rain, pretty flowers. Yep, it's going to be a nice day. First up, adding the floodlight over Johnny's game room window on the side of the house. Don is upstairs gathering parts and he hasn't moved Ruby out yet. Maybe because he thinks we didn't need the space, but I'm gonna go ahead and move her out anyway. I tried to unlock her with my phone and my phone app still will not unlock the car. It's been doing that for at least a couple of weeks now. Says that it's unlocking, shows that it's unlocked, but then she's still locked up tighter than a drum. Good afternoon, Ruby. I got in the car and Ruby thought I was headed to pick Johnny up from school. Gotta say, that made me just a bit sad. There's my kitties. Hey, Tux. Gray's down here in a mood for extra attention. Aren't you, honey? That's my good girl. Yeah.
Hey. So
Hey.
Project day.
Really?
Yeah.
Another day, another project?
Yeah, might get lucky on the light thing. I hate to jinx myself by saying I might get lucky, so I don't know yet. But Marianne and I floored the attic. It was in the house. It was somewhat floored, and then JB and I bought some sheeting, and we floored more of it. But when we consolidated household, we went back and floored all the gaps and nooks and crannies and little sections that we weren't, that had not gotten floored, because it would require you to cut and finesse a sheet of decking, a sheeting down into that spot. So say all that to say this: the bookcase is not sitting on a full 4x8 sheet of sheeting. It's sitting on a sheet, and right next to it is a little 1 foot by about probably 32 inches, it's spanning probably 16 inches on center piece of plywood that I think I can just pull up with a couple drywall screws and get access to where I'm planning to be able to drill through for the light fixture through the bottom plate, or the top plate of the first floor, or the bottom plate of the second floor. I don't know which way you refer to that. And so I might get lucky, and we don't have to move this humongous bookshelf full of stuff and of all the other things. I've already got all the clearance I need already just by moving a couple boxes and a couple other little things. So I am now in the phase of looking for the Romex 14.2. I've got this roll, which is, I'm sure, more than enough. This roll might be enough, so I'm gonna, because it's only gonna run about 8, well, probably gonna need 12 feet from where the last out fixture is. I'm gonna tap into that fixture and then run it to this new fixture. The one that's already on the eave, I'm gonna tap into it.
So I have a question.
Sure.
I haven't warned him I'm gonna ask this question.
Right.
So how do you propose we're gonna turn this light on and off?
Oh, it'll turn on and off with backyard lights. It's gonna be on, it's just gonna be yet another, instead of having 2 fixtures on backyard light, we're gonna have 3 fixtures.
So you're able to tap into backyard lights.
That's just what I need this wire from to go.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I had wondered, well, that's a good, I just was like,
Yeah.
Well, if we can't turn it on and off with A, it's useless.
Oh, no.
Or if we had to run up to the attic to turn it on and off. Or I guess you could have plugged it into an outlet and put a switch up there.
That's right. It could have done, but
done that, but that wouldn't be as good as it just automatically comes on with backyard lights. Although I did discover groups this week.
That's right.
And I made my first group called Mood. I'll demo it when I'm in the house later.
Yes.
And it turns on 2 switches at one time.
Right.
And that was really easy to set up. Like, you really don't have to understand. It helps if you understand code, but you really don't have to understand code to switch that up.
Right.
So.
The, back in the days, we've got 3 bulbs in each of the existing backyard fixtures. You're probably only supposed to have 2, but I went on to add a third lamp holder to the 2 lamp holder floodlights because there was a third hole in the cover. And so I have 3, I believe they're 20 watts a piece LED bulbs. You know, they're designed for like 150 watt. The lamp holders are designed for the old incandescent 150 watts. So they're designed for 300 or 450 watts. And those LED bulbs, I think they're only 20 watts. So we have 3 bulbs. So each fixture is only pulling 60 watts. So we've got basically 2 fixtures. Each one's pulling 60 watts. So that's 120 watts, which is about what the old-fashioned, 150 watt floodlights. And there used to be 2 of them in each fixture. So you can see the savings going to LED floodlights. They're par 38.
And also why it would be okay to have 2 on the same.
Yeah, par 38 with E13 bases, to be exact. And but this new fixture is a 40 watt. So we're basically going from 120 watts to 160 watts, which is trivial amount of current. That's the advantage of LED. They just pull so little current compared to incandescent or halogen bulbs that you can pretty much put all the lights you want on a circuit. You don't have to worry too much about overloading the wire, because if it was designed for incandescents now with LEDs, it's just a piece of cake.
Well, I think we're due. I think we're due for a project where things just go.
Oh yeah, right. As many projects as we've had that we've had to fight
and finesse, and
right.
yeah. I think we're due.
I think my record is I put in 4 drywall screws and I hit 2 existing drywall screws. So
he wasn't happy about that.
50%, success rate, of putting in drywall screws and drilling right into other drywall screws that were there. That's got to be a record. Okay,
well, Johnny has a request for me to look for something while we're upstairs, so that'll give me something to do.
All right, well, I've
found your wire.
Yeah, I went through the wire, and I'm actually tidying up. We have all these little scraps like this I'm not going to use. I don't have a problem. I guess what I'm saying is that this copper has value, and I have other things that need to go to the recycling center. I don't mean as in the Wake County. I mean the one where they give you money.
Yeah, ka-ching.
Ka-ching money. If you did,
where you took those batteries off the old EV truck and got some money for them.
$450 for the lead acid batteries that were in my old electric pickup truck. So it was well worth my time. And I have a few other things, some copper wire and other things that it's worth a trip by there, probably $20. I'm probably going to have $20 worth of copper.
Ooh! Do I get to go out to ice cream after that?
That's right, maybe. Take
Just
you out
kidding.
for your birthday. I had a radiator for that a friend of mine moved, and he cleaned out his garage. He says, "Hey, why don't you just take that old radiator? It was a brand new radiator. It was the wrong. He had ordered the wrong one for his vehicle." And I said, "Well, yeah. What do I need with it?" So I just threw it up here in the top of the attic. And so JB and I, we were doing this battery project and all that.
It's like a year ago, 18 months ago, something
18 months ago, yeah. So I threw that old radiator into the back of the GMC as we went over to this recycling center. I got $18 just for the radiator.
The scrap.
The scrap radiator.
Yep.
Turned out it was all brass. And you know, it was like 8 or 10 pounds of and it was like 18 bucks. So I think it was like $3.50 a pound or something like that. It was like sweet. So ever since that day, my eyes have changed when I look at things like copper and brass and things like that. So you know, we'll see.
Hey, Donnie.
Hey, pretty girl.
So what's this thing you dropped?
Well, it's basically, let's call it within like 2 inches of the center of this window frame.
Ah, okay.
And so now I'm going to measure over from here to the center of Johnny's window.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to come up here and measure from the center of this window on the floor, and that'll tell me how far over I need to go.
Okay, makes sense. So this is the bookshelf Don was talking about.
Right, and bookshelf on top of a bookshelf, basically.
Right. I remember when we put that up there.
Right, and this piece is the piece that has to come up.
Right.
I was hoping that piece was going to be where it is, but you know, what I might do, because right here is where I need to be. I don't know. I'm going to pull this piece up because it's easy. Just a couple drywall screws, and I can pull this piece up, and joists run this way.
Sure.
And I might be able to reach my arm back up in there far enough to drill this way.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay. We'll do what we need to do. So Don and I were pleased to remember that the upper part of that shelf was actually drilled into the wall and not, we didn't have to unload that part, just the lower part, which slid right out, no big deal. Well, look what I found up here in the attic. I remember buying the Alien Conquest one. I do not remember buying the Mars Mission one. They're both got to be over 5-year-old kits. My boys just weren't as interested in putting them together as I had hoped. So now Mom, when she has time, will get the benefit. So Don drilled the hole through the floor down there. But what was happening on the outside is the vinyl siding, instead of the hole going through it, it was kind of pushing out. So he's got the ladder outside now. Hello.
Hello. Holes through.
Yay!
I measured it. We're about a ½ an inch off center, but that I don't think anybody's going to know it's a ½ an inch.
I don't either.
But I'll know.
I didn't hear anything.
Hear what?
Exactly.
Oh, right. I understand. Yes, I understand. Yes. Thank you so much, sweetheart. You're the best.
So the existing flood that he's going to tie into is down there on the end of the soffit. It's hard for me to show you. I can't really lean out the window any more than I already am. I don't think I've talked about it this week, but every chance I've gotten, I've been down there by the butterfly bush, by that little mini flag, pulling up what Don calls nut grass, some sort of a grassy weed. And I am trying so hard to keep it out of there so the perennials in there will look pretty. But if you notice down on the lower bed there where my daylilies are, there's a lot of it down there. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to need to start working down there. But what happens is the mosquitoes start biting and it gets too hot. And then I'm like, you know what? I really don't want nut grass in my flower beds, but it's not worth getting lots of mosquito bites or slathering myself in bug spray, either one. And then I'm like, well, I got what I got done for this year and that's good enough. But yeah, I need to start working on the lower bed. The upper bed is not 100%, but it's much better than it was. Much better. So that one piece of scrap is not big enough?
No, it's almost, you know, I had to rough measure it, and I guesstimated based on with my tape measure with the slack needed, I was going to need 14 feet. But maybe I only need 13 feet. That piece is about 12 feet, 9 inches. So, you know, my luck.
Don just wants to use the smallest piece possible that will do the job so he has the least waste, and I get that. But in the end, he's going to use the piece that's long enough to do the job. I just cannot express enough, I don't think, today exactly how pleasant it is. Gentle breeze, 70 something, sunny, dry, low humidity. Boy, I am just soaking this up because I know we're not going to be like this much longer this spring going into summer season. So while that's where the new fixture is going, over here is where Don's going to try to put the wire up. So what's the plan?
I've taken the fixture off. I've hooked my pull tape up to the existing wires. I'm going to attempt to pull the existing wires with my pull tape attached through the hole. And then if I can get the existing wire and the pull tape over here, I can then wrap the new wire to the pull tape and feed the existing wire and the new wire and the pull tape using back through the hole to pull it back down there. I don't know if it's going to work because code says that within 6 inches of a box you have to staple the wire, fasten the wire. So there's probably a staple down there that I ain't going to be able to get to that's going to stop me from pulling that wire back up through. We'll find out.
Yes, we will. Yeah, that corner's not fun. So bottom line, pushing one wire up here was no big deal, but pushing 2 wires back through, that's a lot more of a problem.
Well,
so we're working it.
There's a staple holding it, and that staple is what the problem is. I've got to pull that staple out. And of course, I can't see the staple.
Right, you got to feel it.
So I got to feel for the staple.
And it's next to impossible to get in that corner.
Yeah, and it's right there. Right there. And, anyway, the point is, it's par for the course. There's nothing unusual with this, with me. This is totally
Well, we going through it together, Donnie.
Yeah, right.
I was down there on my stomach a minute ago. So there was an old unused electrical box in the way, and Don used a little muscle to move it. It was just in, you know, in the stud with a nail, and we're still trying to get the wires where they need to be over here.
Okay, so the box is completely detached from the framing, but the opening up there is too small. There's like the roof comes down and the soffit, the angle is so tight there, there's no room. I can't get the box through the little opening. Plus I was scared of gonna get my hand stuck, and then y'all have a good laugh of the video of me being rescued by the fire guys, fire and rescue, because I could just visualize my hand slipping in there and my watch band getting caught something, and I couldn't get my hand out. So I stopped trying to get my hand down there and wrestle it out. So my now plan is this MQ. It's way past A, B,
It's
C,
a few
D.
iterations.
Yeah, it's way past J, K, L, N, M, L, P, Q, something. So now I got the vacuum cleaner, the shop vac. She's gonna hold it up to that hole. I'm gonna go tie a simple string to this plastic bag, and I'm gonna stuff it into that opening. And as I said, it's pretty tight. So I'm thinking the vacuum's gonna grab this little, you know, I'm gonna dangle it, you know, and I'm gonna kind of do this, and I'm thinking the suction's gonna.
Well, we have had that work one time for us before.
That's
right. We'll go with that.
Hey, look, this is just plan J, K, L, or M. I don't remember which one. We still got O, P, Q, R, S, T, and to go. All right?
Okay.
So we're good.
I'm here. I'm patient.
Right.
I have confidence in you.
I'm gonna go on and
Turn it on.
Turn it on so you don't have to come back down the ladder.
That would be good.
But you don't have to hold it up. I'll scream loud enough.
When
you'll hear it.
right. Okay. Well, it certainly took longer than we had hoped, but we did get it to come through, and we're still working on getting the wire through, though. So all this pulling and stuff and snaking, we're not done yet. Getting it under the floor joist.
Yeah.
Back over here to the hole.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was fun, Donnie.
Yeah, that was a typical Donnie Miller special.
Yeah, we left out the part where we had it through one time, and it accidentally got sucked all the way into the vacuum cleaner, and we had to do it a second time.
Yeah.
The second time being, of course, harder than the first time.
That's right.
Now you guys knew that Don wiring up the fixture was going to be no problem. It was all that other stuff that was the problem.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, Donnie, personally, I think this is the most fun we've had so far.
Oh yeah, this has just been...
A laugh a minute.
Oh yeah, I'm about to...
Did I say I didn't like sawdust?
Yeah.
That I preferred electrical projects?
I think you said that.
I think I did. I must have been delirious.
Yeah, you were.
Alright, the new one is up. Dawn's going to want to adjust it with Ruby parked in her spot after dark. And now Dawn is over here putting the existing fixture back where it was. Turn on backyard lights.
Okay.
Yay! Nothing like doing it live for the first time, baby. Way cool.
Yeah, I gotta leave the ladders out so I can adjust them.
Right.
And so I'll probably climb up there after dark and adjust them, and then probably put the ladders up tomorrow.
Okay. I sure am glad we had leftovers. That's all we had to do was heat it up because, wow, I'm tired.
Yeah, it took oh, I thought that job was going to take about maybe 3 hours, and it took like 5 or more, 6.
Yeah,
like
we won't exactly count it, but yeah.
That took it fought us every step of the way.
Well, I'm going to the environmental park, so when you hear the driveway alert that I'm home, come out and let's adjust those lights.
Yeah, will do.
So is it an improvement?
Yeah. This light is actually doing more of a distinct shadow than that one is. I guess it's I guess I could have used more. I guess you know, if I ever find a better fixture, you know, one that I can adjust over here, I could take that one down and put another fixture up. I mean, it looks okay. It's just you know, these are just more intense lights, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how many lumens per watt these things are. I mean, the color temperature is about the same. I mean, thankfully that way they match.
Well, you got the fixture installed, which was the hard part.
Right,
if you
yeah.
decide to swap the fixture at some point, that's no big deal.
That's right. Just drag
Now that really would take 30 minutes.
yeah, drag the ladder out and
Swap them.
swap them.
Yeah. All right.